everybody.
Hi, guys. Well, from Salt Lake City, Utah,
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
the podcast.
I'm Frank.
And I'm Dan.
Coming up today, we're going to talk about the need to protect all the poor little put-upon churches in this country.
They are in danger.
They're in danger.
Friends,
everyone.
Friends and neighbors.
Freedom of religion is...
Your religious compatriots are under siege.
It's just terrible. It's
Fortunately,
terrible.
plans are in the works to save them.
Legislatures across the land are
Busy.
They're abuzz.
Busy little bees buzzing in their hives, trying to save all the Christians and everybody. That'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll be
But
chatting
anyway,
with that about that a little later on.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks though, Dan, since we've.
It has. I was gone, everybody, last week. I had it was a very interesting thing I was involved in, though.
Dan.
It was very intense. I was hired as an actor for a very intense playwriting workshop that a local theater company was doing.
Wow, okay.
Bunch of out-of-towners were brought in, and very fancy.
Oh, okay.
Very fancy.
But they had you to work with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm
okay.
the best.
You said something about being. You actually didn't finish the story earlier about being put in drag or something.
Oh, I wasn't put in drag, but my character was a drag queen.
Okay.
So
you were able to draw from
previous experience.
From
I've done some drag in my day, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, don't kid yourself. I look good in lipstick. I'm just going to throw that out there for you.
all painted up. I actually cast Dan in a thing as a drag queen.
That's true. That's true. We have worked together in that capacity.
Very, very funny.
Should we do our show?
Yeah.
Remember this thing?
Do we have to?
Kinda. I mean, no.
Yeah.
But kinda.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to go first?
Well, I can.
Okay.
Oh God, I don't even know where to start. I'm going to start with this. Do you remember a couple years ago, maybe even a few years ago, we talked about a very high-profile gang rape that happened in India. Do you remember this?
Mm-hmm.
And
I said, almost like it was nice, but it's not nice.
It's not nice. It's
I do
nice that you remembered.
Yes. My memory works. How nice. But that's not a nice thing to remember.
That's not a nice thing to have to remember.
No.
This was the incident of, it was a woman and a guy. I can't remember if it was like a brother or a boyfriend. It might have been a boyfriend. And they were walking along, and a bus, sort of one of these little private bus things, stopped and picked them up. But what they did not know was that the bus had been taken over, stolen by a gang of rapists looking to rape someone.
Good Lord.
And she ultimately died from the rape. And the abuse that she was put through. These men stood trial, and a filmmaker from the UK who made the film for the BBC, she went in and interviewed at least one of these guys.
Okay.
And made a film about the incident called India's Daughter. And it's going to be debuting this Sunday, I believe, as part of International Women's... What was the day called?
International Please Stop Raping Everybody Day?
Yeah, something.
Because that's what I would call it.
No, I don't think that's what it's called. It's like International Women's Safety Day or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was.
I feel like that's the same thing as what I said.
No, it's just International Women's Day.
Oh, well, that's good.
Ta-da! I came up with it.
Well done.
I had two articles to quickly skim. We're going to get that information. So it's going to be debuting on the BBC, and it was supposed to be debuting in India on Indie TV or something like that. However, the government in India
Yeah.
has gotten involved, and the lawmakers in the parliament have endorsed the Home Minister's view and have had it banned from the country.
Well, it's only going to make the roving vans full of rapists feel bad.
Feel bad.
That's all it's going to do.
You must protect the rapists.
I mean, what are we going to... Honestly, what purpose does it serve?
Doesn't help national morale at all.
No.
No, not at all.
No, when 1 in 6 of your men is a roving rapist... I'm just kidding.
Wow.
It's not true at all.
That would be a lot.
That would
of
be
rapists.
yeah.
Because it's a very large country, Dan.
It is I've been there.
Yeah, I know you have.
Yeah.
And I haven't been there, but I've seen the numbers.
Yeah.
But apparently the beef with the film that they haven't seen yet is that that it includes an interview with a rapist.
Oh.
This is what they're saying, at least. I personally think that they are threatened and made uncomfortable by a film, especially made by an outsider,
right.
probably, who is highlighting a serious problem in their nation.
Right.
But they're saying that they don't want a rapist to have a platform from which to speak.
That's a clever excuse.
The things that this guy says are so horrifying that nobody's going to be like, oh, he's convinced me, right? At least
he's
hopefully
convinced me to rape. You mean
to rape? Yeah, or that rape is somehow okay. He's definitely one who says that He says girls are much more to blame than boys. And he also says, what was the other thing that was kind of horrifying? Yeah, the girl is far more responsible for rape than a boy. Is that what I just said?
Yeah.
And then there was another thing.
Well, I mean, also... I think that's the thing, right?
He said that they should not have been roaming around at 9 o'clock.
The girls,
the girl and her male friend,
right?
Yeah,
yeah. What the hell are they doing?
Just wandering around.
Wandering around at 9.
Everybody knows this isn't safe.
It's rape 30, everybody.
No, it was rape o'clock.
It's rape o'clock. Are you in bed yet? So I mean, oh my God, it's the problem is that what they're doing is revealing what this film clearly will do is reveal a cultural pandemic problem.
Yeah,
like this is not just some bad guys.
Right.
This is just a bad culture.
Right.
That has made this okay. That has not talked about it in the right ways. And what they're saying is, the last thing we need to do is start talking about it.
Right.
That would be the worst thing we could do.
Imagine if a nation with this problem actually started talking. What if the moms and the sisters and grandmothers all started talking about this? Because it was the topic of the day.
Right.
And they can't believe what that horrible kid said. And they start expressing that and they start talking about it when the young men in their family might actually think that way. Yeah. And nobody knows. Yeah. Or at least suspects it. Or
it's so weird to me that how oblivious people are. I saw a thing. This is only sort of tangentially related, but I mean, it's about culture and it's about how culture treats its women. And it's and there's I saw there was a video that was going around on the old intertubes.
Right.
It was from some South American country, and I don't remember which one, South or Central American country, where there's apparently a huge problem with men catcalling women all the time and all of this stuff. Did you see this video?
I saw this,
yeah. So what happens is they dressed up. They found a couple of guys. They identified a couple of guys that were notorious for this. Knew where they would be hanging out, and dressed up their mothers.
Right.
Disguised them, but dressed them up in some little sexy ensemble or something.
Yeah.
And sent their mothers past. And these guys, sure enough, catcall their mothers. One of them is like catcalling, like, "Hey, baby, you're sexy," or whatever. The other one's like, "Fat pig." And then these mothers turn around and like reveal who they are and start like beating them with their purse and like, "Why are you doing? Why would you do it? Why would you that, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, no, I didn't. It was somebody else. No, it wasn't me. No, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, the point is like,
it was pretty amazing. Like, it was clear that it was just kind of an advertisement for something.
Yeah, well, I think it was a campaign to stop.
Was it a campaign?
Yeah.
I thought it was some company that was doing a campaign, which is great.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that company.
Sure,
deciding
you're
to do that.
You're like Nestle. It wants you not to treat women badly.
Something along those lines. Yeah.
Yeah, I think these are the kind. I mean, that's pretty effective, right? To take some man's horrible behavior and be like, hey, look what you did to your mom.
Well, and to just let the mom know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's enough. Right. That should be enough long term.
And that should be
because she is going to browbeat that kid,
hopefully,
into being a gentleman.
Yeah, but these guys are like adults now.
Yeah, well,
I mean, if nothing else, maybe it's also a call to moms who are raising boys.
Yeah,
to be like, we need to talk about some shit.
Yeah,
because you can't act like your father.
We need you to be holding doors open and respecting young ladies.
See, I don't like the holding doors open. No, don't
chivalry.
No,
you're
going the wrong direction.
The pendulum has to swing one way. You're not just going to bring it down into a nice little, good little space. It's got to swing the other way.
It's not about chivalry. It's about respect. I know the reason I object to this is because people do think that chivalry is equivalent to respect of women, and it's not.
It's definitely, there's a bit of chivalry that's about genders having their place, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's the thing of like, I as a man will walk my women friends to their car at night,
right? And
I will, do things like that, but I will also respect them enough to know that woman can open her own door,
right?
She is a strong woman. She can open a door. Like, I'm not gonna I open doors for anybody. I open doors for, if there's a person behind me, I hold the door open for them,
right,
regardless of gender.
Now, the one that I think is totally stupid is the car scenario, like the guy walking around and opening the door for the car, or the door of the car for the woman,
right?
And she's just sitting there,
yeah,
like, fucking get out of the car yourself, sweetheart.
Right? Yeah. Like, I'm just walking away from the car.
No
and if
way.
You're still in it, why are you still in the car?
Yeah. But and maybe this is a different take because it's sort of I'm a man who dates men.
You are one of those.
I am one of those. But I think it's sweet to hold doors open for each other.
There's a wooing thing.
Yeah.
And you want to impress the person that you're wooing.
Yeah.
But I just think, don't genderize it. I mean, like being nice.
So you want the lady to open the door for you?
I love that.
Really?
I think that's sweet. I mean, I think sweetness is nice no matter what. Who's doing it to whom?
Wow.
I mean, it doesn't happen often because I'm quick. I'm quick on the draw.
Well, we'll have to. I'll send Andrea a little text and say.
She'll be like, he does.
He never holds them open for me.
He doesn't do anything. That guy's I'm too lazy. I'm not.
No.
I'm gentlemanly, but
nonetheless, you're making a good point. That chivalry is not respect.
Right. Exactly. And what we should be engendering in our young men is absolute respect for women.
Well, yeah.
In a way that all of our societies have
respect
not quite,
for all human beings.
For all human beings,
really.
But we have to especially gear that towards the people who have traditionally not gotten that respect.
Right.
I don't think we have to worry about the white men in our culture getting the respect they need.
They need their doors open for them too.
They do.
Dan. That's what I'm saying.
By other underpaid white men.
By other gay men.
Well, there's that too. There's that too. Gentlemen, will you please open the door for Frank?
It just needs to happen.
He'll buckle at the knees for you.
Oh my goodness. Maybe not. But
okay. I'm going to move on.
Please do.
This is a story. We have told many stories about prayer in schools. So you'd think that it's done in this country, and
it's an ongoing saga.
It's just saga is a great word for it.
Yeah, it's been going on since when? Did we say did the Supreme Court say you couldn't do it?
Like 1453. It was 100,000 years ago that this happened,
and this conversation has been going on since.
Right, exactly.
Those that keep this conversation alive will not be happy unless they see prayer back in the schools.
Right. And on conversely, it's what keeps the FFRF in business.
Yeah, that's good.
So the most recent FFRF thing, that would be the Freedom from Religion Foundation, for those of you who don't listen enough. They're now they filed a federal lawsuit. This is against a Emmanuel County school system in Swainsboro, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Shocking that it's in the South. Who could have seen that coming? Who could have seen that coming?
Yeah.
Anyway, Swainsboro. The defendants include the superintendent, Kevin Judy, the primary school principal, and 2 teachers, Katrine Bright and Sel Thompson.
None of these names are real. Not one of them struck me as a real name.
Well, there you go. I understand, but then the real fake names are those of the plaintiffs, who are Jane and John Doe, and their children Jesse and Jamie Doe, which are actually fake names.
I've never heard. I've heard the
Jane and John.
Yeah, and I've never heard the progression. I've never heard the whole family's names.
Right, exactly. So we got Jesse and Jamie involved here.
Does. Good people.
So there's been prayer in this school, and not just prayer, but daily prayer, and not just daily prayer, but like start the day prayer, and then blessing on, and then like before you go to lunch prayer.
Okay.
And it's just like these kids are getting
plenty of prayer.
Lots of prayer. And
too much. And
so as soon as the parents found out, Mr. and Mrs. Doe, as soon as they found out, they went to the principal and said, no, this is not acceptable. The principal said, "Oh, okay. Well, your kids don't have to participate." This old trope, right? So then the teachers start sending those kids, just one kid from each of the classes. Oh, you have to leave and go out in the hall while the rest of us pray.
Oh no!
This is their solution, which of course opens the children up for ridicule. Ha ha! You're being punished because you don't pray. Why are you a bad person? Blah blah blah. So over the course of
poor Jesse Doe,
over a year, I think they eventually had to pull one kid from the school.
Oh my God!
Really? The other kid eventually started praying along because the pressure was just too high.
Oh my God!
So they're suing.
Rightly
because yeah, exactly. It's totally rightly so, because the school's not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
The school's not. I mean, and in fairness, this has been decided in this country. The law is very clear and has been decided many, many times. So, that's why it's shocking. It's like people keep thinking, they didn't mean it about murder not being legal, right? I'm pretty sure that's still gray area. No.
I'm going to practice my right to murder.
Yeah, exactly.
Over here.
Yeah.
So come and get me.
Right.
Come and get me, lawyers.
Yeah, Jesus told me I should be stoning witches.
Yeah.
And I am, and now you're getting all pissed at me about it.
Yeah.
That's your problem, not my problem. Stop.
Yeah. What is wrong with this country? Where is this country going?
I have my religious freedom, okay? I have my religious freedom.
Well,
anyway.
we're going to be talking about that.
So here's what's really fun about this particular one.
Yeah.
Is that the tipping point for me, because I was debating whether to even do this story because we've heard it so many times.
Right.
But this tipping point was just one straw, and my camel's back just went crazy. One of the teachers actually kept the child from going to recess.
Okay.
And told the child, I don't remember if this is fake Jamie or fake Jesse. Told the child that they let me find.
So we don't even know the kid's gender. They picked 2 gender neutral names.
I guess that's true. I guess those could be either. I can't find the exact quote.
Oh, Dan.
Anyway,
I want to hear the quote.
Yeah, I better find it. I can say that the prayer apparently was one of the prayers that was done daily. One of them was, "God our Father, we give thanks." And this was a sort of call and response, right? So it was the teachers said, "God our Father," and all the children, "God our Father, we give thanks for our many blessings. Amen. And the other one was, God is great. Let us thank you for our food. Thank you for our daily prayer.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
For this.
Amen.
Thank you for this violation of church and state.
Right. According to Jesse,
This moment of church state violation brought to you by God himself.
According to Jesse, the teacher used her mean voice when instructing him or her to go wait in the hallway. Oh, poor little Jesse.
Her mean voice.
She. So what happened was that the kid was kept in from recess.
Okay.
And told that. Anyway, was told that that their mother was a bad person for not teaching them how to pray, and that they shouldn't listen to their mother.
Oh my God, that was it like some Christian re-education school,
right? No,
oh my God.
We're just talking about public school. Yes, yeah.
Just a public school in, what was it, Waynesboro, Georgia? What was it called?
It's called Swainsboro.
Swains, I forgot the S. Okay.
Yeah.
Swainsboro.
Yeah, this was Ms. Bright who held the child back and apparently explained her personal Christian beliefs at length, and then said that Jesse's mother was a bad person for not believing in God.
I can, it's not, I could see that. I can totally imagine that.
Of course we can imagine that. It's
just, no, I mean, I can hear the there was so much religion in my high school that it's not even hard to we didn't do prayer like daily.
Right.
But,
well, and
I would do it at the football games publicly.
Yeah.
And they would do it at graduation and that kind of stuff.
A bunch of stuff showed up on my Facebook feed. Somebody posted a photo of sort of the class photo of my sixth grade class. Of my sixth grade class, and then a bunch of other people from that sixth grade class started piling stuff on to the point where they made a group that was just like our elementary school graduating class or whatever like that. And
that's kind of ridiculous.
But one of the things that somebody posted was, so everybody starts posting their memorabilia.
Oh,
and one of the things that somebody posted was the program from the sixth grade graduation dinner.
How did they even have that?
I don't know.
That's just weird.
I don't even think I was invited to that. I don't. I definitely don't remember it. Anyway, the point was that
little damn beacher.
It did have listed on the program who did the invocation and who did the benediction.
Oh yeah.
So there was prayer at that.
Was that at school or was that off ground?
I couldn't tell.
Was that at the Stake Center across the street?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Anyway.
Huh. Because I mean, our high school did that. They actually did. They called it the baccalaureate. And it would be held at a church the night before graduation.
Was everyone?
And so it was and everyone was invited, and you were supposed to wear your cap and gown. I didn't go do it because I knew it was just going to be all Baptist-y and all that. So, and I didn't feel comfortable.
You've got something against Baptists?
I have something
little Mormon boy.
Religion.
Yeah,
and I always had something against religion that wasn't my own.
Totally.
I don't know what that is. But anyway, you're done?
I'm done.
Okay, well, I want to go a couple states over to Texas.
Tejas.
Which, another topic that seems to be sweeping the nation is what to do about marijuana.
Oh, what can one do?
What can one do besides
how does one solve a problem like marijuana?
How do you take a cloud and
totally
pin it down, dude,
and then bust it? Do you guys do cloud busting? Oh.
All right. So over in Texas, this discussion's going forward, and there's actually a few different bills apparently that are being introduced. Sort of your standard decriminalization type stuff. That's coming from Joe Moody, a Democrat from El Paso. It's kind of just standard. It's kind of what you're seeing elsewhere in the country. And then there's a couple people, Republicans actually, in the House and the Senate that are looking to legalize sort of just a really, really, really small class of cannabis-derived oils to treat like epilepsy and that kind of stuff. We actually have that already legal in Utah.
Okay.
just stuff along those lines, right?
Sure.
Well, there is one Mr. David Simpson who is saying, let's just make it fully just like any other plant. Let's just declassify it as anything. Like
really?
In the state of Texas, it's just like tomatoes, jalapenos, or coffee, is what he says. Current marijuana policies are not based on science or sound evidence, but rather misinformation and fear.
Well, okay.
So he's not even like going the Colorado route, which has raised a ton of money for the state.
Yeah.
Which is, let's tax the hell out of this shit.
Right. Yeah.
Right. No, it would just be like tomatoes, jalapenos, or coffee. And what's interesting is where he gets his sort of justification for this.
Is it Woody Harrelson's website?
I don't know. It says, this is a quote from him. He says, all that God created is good, including marijuana.
What?
God did not make a mistake when he made marijuana that the government needs to fix. Let's allow the plant to be utilized for good, helping people with seizures, treating warriors with PTSD, producing fiber and other products, or simply for beauty and enjoyment. Government prohibition should be for violent actions that harm your neighbor, not the possession, cultivation, and responsible use of plants.
Oh my God.
All that God created is good. No! Have you looked around?
Incorrect, sir. You
really?
are not correct about that.
Spider bites.
Right, sure.
Venom.
Yeah. Tornadoes.
Hey, God created it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good.
Hey, I can think of a number of plants. Belladonna. That's not a good plant.
Which one's that?
It's poison.
Oh.
It's just a very poisonous plant.
Oh, okay.
Nightshade.
Oh, yeah.
Although both potatoes and tomatoes are in the nightshade family.
Oh, are they really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Anyway, there's lots of stuff that's not good that God created.
Absolutely. Well, ostensibly.
I mean, not good for us.
Or that God created.
There's plenty of very, very naturally occurring things that don't do well for humans.
But hey, he's arguing for the legalization of marijuana in like a grand sweeping way. I mean, clearly he's a libertarian,
right?
And he's clearly enjoyed his a little bit of pot in his
a little bit of God's creation.
Oh, clearly. But no, I very interesting. To me, it's fascinating where this country has gotten so quickly.
Yeah.
With the topic of marijuana and what to do with it. And legalizing it. And
pretty soon, man, everybody's going to get high.
Yeah. In a couple of years, this is going to be a very different show.
Yeah.
Once we're just like high all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's totally what we would do.
That's all. Well, if it's legal, that's clearly what everybody would do.
The only thing keeping this show from just being two stoned guys talking, like half the other podcasts in the world, is that it's not legal and we are law-abiding citizens. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I do think it's interesting, and so there you go.
Yep. It'll be soon. Well, but here's the question. We're talking a lot this episode on all of these things, but this brings up a question for me, which is, do we allow this shit argument to stand
just because we like
the end result?
Right.
And I don't know that we do. Because then the same argument could be used for something else.
Well, I don't think that his sort of, I mean, I would argue against him, and like the full, like, it's just like any other plant argument is totally stupid.
Right.
I think that it is something that needs to be regulated and that should be taxed. Let's make some money off this, people. Let's pay for some schools and some, for our infrastructure to be rebuilt.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some things in this country that could use some money thrown at them.
Desperately need it.
By a new, quote unquote, sin tax.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. All right. I'm going to move on to Kalamazoo, Michigan. and a story worthy of a town that sounds so stupid. The name of the town is it's like halfway to a Dr. Seuss book. I think he actually mentioned Kalamazoo in one of his books, didn't he?
Well, it rhymes with things that he would want to rhyme
right,
with, I'm
right.
sure.
Anyway, in Kalamazoo, there was an attack on a shop.
Oh.
Apparently, police late on when was it? Last Wednesday. They caught a man wielding an axe who had just burned down Hollywood Nights sex shop.
Oh,
the Hollywood Nights.
Oh, Hollywood Nights.
Hollywood Nights trades in sexy things.
Ooh,
that which is
sexy,
used in and around the accoutrement in and around sexual activity.
Modern sexuality.
Yes.
Modern sexual activity.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so
an adult store, if you will.
You didn't like it.
He apparently didn't like it. This man, one Mr.
Methinks he doth protest too much. He
One
was probably their best customer and just
right.
finally couldn't handle his addiction any longer.
One Mr. Mitchell Hapner, a self-described hair designer.
Okay.
Had to get that right. Had apparently set fire to the shop and was walking away from the scene carrying an axe. Presumably it got him into the shop. I don't know if he used it to bust up some shit before he did.
That is like an epic image in my mind. This
Yeah.
guy, the flaming building behind him, walking away slowly, axe in hand. I mean,
Right.
this guy.
A little bit of a mince to him as he walks.
Oh, I was thinking a little swagger.
Oh, you're thinking swagger?
It could be a mincy swagger.
Yeah, it's got to be you got to add that hair designer thing in. It's not even a hairdresser.
He's got quite the coif.
He's perfectly coiffed.
Yeah.
That is absolute.
Yeah. And completely unmessed up from anything.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's perfect still.
You got to get some nice music going behind it.
He's got a nice little leather jacket. You know.
Yeah, he's hot.
Walking,
He's looking good.
Walking
as he walks away.
With an axe.
I
I just burned that sex shop to the ground.
Right, exactly. He's doing the Lord's work, apparently. Let's see. The Hollywood Nights has apparently set up a GoFundMe to try and rebuild because apparently the losses were total.
Oh my. Were they not insured?
I don't know. It would seem that they would.
Would it be a difficult shop to insure? Surely not.
Now that they know that there are hairdressers out there with an axe to grind, literally.
Wow,
that didn't mean to be a joke, but then I realized that he actually had
an axe. Then what do you do when there's clearly a pun or a joke just sitting
exactly.
there?
Ah, shit! I
gotta pick it up now.
I fell in a pun. I just tripped and fell into a pun. Anyway, Hollywood Nights is they said they're on their website. They said, quote, Hollywood Nights was maliciously targeted and unfortunately burnt to the ground by a confused individual who thought he was doing God's work.
Oh,
the statement said. They claim, however, it was not God's work, but rather just a man maliciously burning down a sex shop.
Somebody who doesn't like sex toys.
Right, exactly.
And lingerie.
I'm guessing that it was a lonely man who was sad about all of the other people having sex so much, and he doesn't get any.
Oh, come on. There's toys for that.
Right? They have a solution. If you had just shopped there.
Just walk in the door.
Look at that. You can hold that in your hand. It looks like her lips. It's great.
There you go.
Or that looks like his dong. All of the things are available.
It's all there.
Stick it wherever you want in the comfort of your own home.
Yep.
Shove it up or put something into it and everything will be great. But no, his solution was slightly more novel, which is to burn the place to the ground.
Well, he'll keep using Jergens. That's fine.
jerkins. All right, what do you got?
I have the story of someone else doing the Lord's work.
Okay.
Did you see this article, this headline? It was around. You probably couldn't miss it. The 400 men. The headline just says 400 men cut their testicles off, believing it would help them meet God. Did you see this one, Dan?
I saw it. I
did you look into it at all?
No, I. You said you were doing the story, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to read anything about it. But I will say, images came to mind.
Yeah. Well, there's a controversial guru by the name of Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh.
I don't know how he could be controversial.
Okay. I think I did okay with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it was perfect.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. He's an Indian spiritual guru turned movie star.
Oh.
Apparently this happened back in 2000, but the men are only starting to come forward now. These 400 men castrated themselves with and I don't know if that means that they did it themselves or not, but that actually sounded terrifying.
Yeah. It hadn't occurred to me that they were actually wielding the knife themselves until that moment, and then I just suddenly, now my legs are really tight to each other.
You think they actually cut their own testicles off?
I didn't read the story. You read the story. You tell me.
That part, I don't have details on.
It says themselves. It says they castrated themselves.
Well, I mean, you could have yourself castrated.
Yeah. But that's just not what that says. All I'm saying is that's a possibility.
Convinced up to 400 men to be castrated.
Okay.
400 men to castrate themselves. Anyway.
Horrifying no matter how you slice it.
Yeah. So oh, Dan. You with your unintentional puns today.
Who said that one was unintentional?
He's known as the Guru in Bling. He's estimated to be worth about $40 million.
Okay.
US dollars. And not only is he a movie star, he's also a recording artist. What else has he done? He's done a lot. But one of the things that his little group, they it's actually kind of interesting. They do a lot of blood drives. They do like crazy blood drives. He actually holds the world record for the largest blood drive. There were a bunch of world records for like getting people out and doing good stuff. Right.
I support that.
But for some reason, he convinced these guys to. I'm on the wrong damn page. God damn it! Where's the one that I want? I was back on the gang rape thing because it said India, and so I was like scanning it for what I needed. And I'm like,
God damn it, Franklin!
Totally wrong to me. I had another article up on him. I guess I don't have it up anymore. But he so yeah.
There you go. I do like the progression. I like the possible progression of like let's do a blood drive. We'll save lives, and everybody goes, yeah. And let's do something for the poor. Yeah. Let's cut off our balls. What?
Yeah. No, I know.
And then the 400 guys went, yeah. Wait, what? Okay, we'll do it. Yep. Hooray.
We don't care.
Hey, well, I'll tell you this.
Did I say how many followers this guy has?
No.
40 to 50 million followers.
Well, there you go.
He's got a lot of followers, so he only got 400 of them. Is the point that I'm getting to right here?
Okay, well, that's still a goodly number. When you're asking people to mutilate
mass
themselves,
castration, he might hold the world record for that too.
I'll bet you he does. I'll bet you there. I mean,
I wonder if Guinness would actually show up for that one.
I think we might have to say mass voluntary castration.
Yeah,
because the Nazis were doing some crazy.
But I mean,
shit.
like a bunch of guys out on a football field, right?
Right.
And they're all there. They've all got their knife ready. They yell,
1, 2, 3, castrate!
What you guys didn't see was Dan's back and forth slicing as though it were a steak motion rather than the quick slice motion.
You just want to do it? No. I'm going to saw at those bad boys until they're done.
with a steak knife, apparently.
Yeah, well,
I want the cleanest, sharpest fillet knife, and just
yeah, that's right. You what you want is a restaurant quality, like super sharp knife that you can just and then
and you put a little like a little cutting board between your right leg and your testicles.
Oh, we
and
are
then
doing this apparently.
And then you just go whoop, right? Because that's really
you cut
because you don't want to slice your thigh,
right?
But you want to get a good jerking motion to the side.
Yikes! I think that now I'm envisioning.
Was there a line that we just
now
crossed?
I'm envisioning a tiny guillotine. Like what you need is this small little guillotine. Floop, and then you're done.
Something really spring loaded.
Just oh, good Lord. Well,
nasty emails.
Considering the fact that there is an overpopulation problem there.
Oh yeah, no, it's great.
Anyone who's willing to voluntarily give up.
And I was reading.
I'm not doing anything with my balls. I'll be perfectly honest.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I was reading about castration and some of the side effects. One of the potential good benefits from castration would be that if you can get yourself castrated before you start balding, it actually will stave off male pattern baldness. It just won't happen.
Good. I'm taking them off.
Yeah, you should because you are, Dan.
I'm losing a little bit up
you're
top.
losing some hair.
It started.
Yeah, and the Rogaine won't help you right there.
Not in the front. No. I got no recourse except to take care of my balls or get the
get your
plugs.
balls off.
I don't want plugs, so I'm not using those things. I'm gonna get rid of them.
Yeah, just
plus, they hurt if they get kicked or whatever.
Oh yeah. How often are you getting kicked?
Well, I'm just saying, like there are plenty of benefits to not having testicles.
Yeah.
We have a friend who has who has one real and one false one.
Yeah, that's true.
So there you go. I wonder. You don't ever hear about voluntary castration. I mean, I don't know. What are the other side effects? You read up on it. Does it make you stronger like eunuchs?
No.
Oh.
No, I don't think eunuchs are eunuchs known for their strength?
Yeah.
Really?
I think if you get them young, I think if you do it young, it's like an ox. It's the same principle.
Really?
If you get them young, then they get super strong.
I know there's something. It said something about if you castrate before puberty, right? Mm-hmm. That the young man, his voice will never change,
right?
But he will grow to be quite tall,
right?
And that's because I guess the testicles also are a source of some estrogen. I guess. I don't know. Please, doctors and medical scientists and whatnot, please let us know.
Yeah.
But apparently there's a release of something, and I think that said estrogen, that will not happen without the testicles there, and that would stop long bone growth or would curb it. And so for like a normal healthy man, there's been chemicals released to say, no, those bones don't need to be longer.
Right.
And so there is that. But yeah, men will see a decrease in muscle density and so forth and so on. Possibly a decrease in body hair, but not necessarily.
I've got body hair to spare. That's fine. I can lose some of that.
Okay.
I don't want to lose my muscle density. That's a problem.
No, clearly. But these are things to consider.
Yeah.
Before
I'm still on the fence about this. If you guys have if you want to weigh in on whether or not I should keep my balls, feel free to write into us, and we'll talk about that later.
And that email address.
Well, we're not ready for that, but we will tell the email address later in the thing. I got one more story.
Did you have 4?
No.
All right.
You started.
Okay.
Didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, come on. This is really quick. I just want everyone to know that Canada's Supreme Court, the Supreme Court of Canada, they have one of those because they're a real country. I think people should know about that. Canada's Supreme Court, in a unanimous decision, has decided to allow for assisted suicide.
No way.
Yeah. So in the entirety of the Canada. Now it is legal. They've struck down a law that has made it illegal Canada still has a year to sort of sort out what that ends up meaning, who ends up doing, like, I mean, because there's problems associated with this. Like, can you go to just your general practitioner and make them help you die? If you meet certain criteria, you have to be terminally ill, or, there are certain criteria.
Right. Okay.
But it will be, they have to rewrite their law. But that means, you'll be able to commit suicide with dignity, to die with dignity. Interesting. In Canada, which I think is, I just wanted to applaud them and let them know, good job, eh? You guys, you hosers have done well.
All right. Is that all you wanted to say with that?
Sure.
Okay.
I just wanted to get that out there.
No, it's good.
Good stuff. Way to go. Way to go.
Congratulations, Canada.
Canucks.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you would like to comment on this or anything else and chime in about Dan's balls, please, you can do so by emailing us at podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Right. Or you can do a voicemail. Mm-hmm. You leave your voice. Have your voice.
We can hear you on
our show. Yeah. Do that by calling our voicemail number, which is 424-666-TGIA. Which is 424-666-8442.
That is correct. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/TGIAtheist.
Right. Or go to the Members Only Lounge. If you track us down on Facebook, there's a Facebook group called the TGIA Members Only Lounge, and you can ask to be let in, and I will Facebook stalk you. And then since you're listening to us now, you'll be a real person, and I'll let you in.
All right. Awesome. And of course, you can find all sorts of stuff at our website, thankgodimatheist.com. We're going to take a quick break. This is Pat Robertson. Oh, yes. Pat Robertson. Once again, being crazy and making some sense.
As he is wont to do.
All right. Well, Linda says, the Bible tells us Jesus and his disciples cast out demons. Are there still demons in the world as they were back then? I know there's evil, but have not heard anything regarding this.
It's amazing that the devil is present, but he's got everybody thinking he's a myth. Yeah. And he's real. Demons are real. They're angels that fell when Satan rebelled against God, and they're in the world, and they're little demons out trying to destroy human beings. They hate people, and they're doing the will of their father, who is Satan. So are they there? Yes, there are. But most people don't know what a demon is like, and you get these people who are into demon casting out ministry, and it's a lot of hokum, and they can do a lot of psychological damage to people, telling them they have demons. So I just be careful. But yes, demons are real.
Oh, good. Well, I'm very glad we got that sorted. They're real,
but you know.
But you're good.
Be careful about who you get to deal with this,
right? Because the wrong guy, that dude will fuck you up.
And then you'll have psychological problems. You'll have, in addition to being demon possessed.
In addition to, and including.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, it's just a nightmare. A lot of people don't understand what demons are like.
Yeah, but apparently they're everywhere. So you should be ready at all times. You should be casting out demons.
You should be terrified of them. But also, you're wrong about what they are, and you're going to hurt yourself if you try and get them fixed.
So just keep them there.
Just keep your demons inside of you. You know who might be helpful? The Scientologists.
Oh, yeah.
I think demons and thetans are basically the same thing.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal, though. Like, if you were a Christian, wouldn't having a demon in you like get you off the hook?
There's a demon in me. I'm possessed.
I'm possessed. I didn't have control of like what I was up to. God, you can't punish me.
Yeah.
For having a demon in me.
You made the demons.
Yeah. And then the demon made me do that thing. I can't resist the demon. I'm possessed.
Right. Exactly. It would be nice if someone exorcised this demon from me. That'd be great.
Right.
I don't want to be psychologically damaged by it.
But in the meantime, I'm getting to enjoy some booze and some sex, and I'm listening to some fun music.
Yeah.
And the TV shows are way better when not on CBN.
Oh, my God. First of all, let me just say, demons have a great life. And you don't want to believe it, but it's true. They are awesome. I did steal my coworker's sandwich. That I feel bad about, but I can't help it. It's the
demon was hungry. You got to feed the demon.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to kill me if I don't do these things. I feel like I'm in trouble.
No.
Anyway.
Yeah, just don't go for the snake oil. Just the demon's okay. You can believe that much, but don't believe in these casting out things.
Oh, yeah. No, that's totally bogus.
Too much.
I am going to. We've had some people writing and calling into us.
Oh, yeah?
We've had some correspondence. It's been a couple weeks, so
it's built up.
It's built up. We've pared it down. Don't be offended if you wrote in and you don't. We don't read everything. But
well, that's true too. Yeah.
Sean wrote into us. Sean said, "Hi guys, I listen to the podcast regularly and enjoy it, but at times it's like listening to something akin to stories from another planet. Mostly because religion is such a non-issue down here." Sean is from Australia.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I think. Is that? Yeah. I recently had 2 young missionaries, both female and non-white, come to my door.
Oh.
The first religious door knockers in, well, a very long time. Years, really.
Huh.
Neither of them was particularly shocked or surprised when I declared my atheist stance. Both simply asked if I knew anyone religious on my street. I ended up telling them I had no idea. Yet when I listen to your podcast, I get the impression that people live in a mortal and social terror of declaring their atheism or having someone out them. It's just so odd and unfathomable and incredibly hard to understand. I doubt that there is anyone in my family who isn't atheist, and God has never been a presence or influence in anything. My brother has married someone who is religious, but she isn't devout or strident, just rather ignorant and dogmatic. In that I'm religious, but I haven't read the Bible. La 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 la. I can't hear you. Demeanor. Anyway, keep up the good work and have fun. From an avid listener, Sean.
Huh. Well, all right, Sean. Thanks for flaunting your what sounds like a paradise.
Yeah, sounds
your paradisical existence.
Ooh, Sean's so great. He doesn't have to deal with the crazies. No, Sean, here's the thing. Frank and I are both very out in our lives, walking around in Salt Lake City, and that has not bit me really at all.
No.
However, we have listeners that we've talked to for whom that is an absolute impossibility.
Yeah. Yep.
Mostly in the South.
Yeah.
But not exclusively in the South. The Midwest is hard. There are parts of this country where you're absolutely right. It is impossible to live a happy, like a safe feeling, comfortable life.
Right.
If you insist on being out of the closet.
Right.
Or at least it's harder.
Right.
So congratulations, Australia.
Yeah. Well done.
For that. That's great.
We're working toward it, guys.
Yeah.
We'll meet. We'll be there someday.
I don't think it's any secret that the U.S. is behind many countries in many things. I don't think that that's a secret. Did we have a voicemail?
Yeah.
Why don't you play it?
Okay.
Hey, Frank and Dan. This is Adam from Las Vegas, the guy that does weddings. But hey, I'm calling because I just listened to your Scientology episode. And not only do I do weddings here, but I'm actually a psychology student at UNLV, and I'm a research assistant in a psychophysiology lab. And I just wanted to say that the Scientologists were on campus not too long ago. And the irony is they were asking for people to come and take the E-meter test. And I mean, I actually work in a lab where we do psychophys work, which is real psychophysiological measuring with real equipment. And the funny thing was I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. And I just was asking too many questions. I was asking them, what is this reading? When you just turn that dial, what is that supposed to mean? Are we reading skin conductance? Are we reading any sort of resistance? What's going on? And what I realized was they actually, I don't think they do these tests to find out what's wrong with you. I think they do them to see if you're going to be gullible enough to actually be a member of the church, because they told me to stop. And they said, thank you very much, but you obviously, wouldn't fit in the church because I was asking too many questions. So I just thought it was kind of an interesting gateway into the Church of Scientology, is that if you ask too many questions, if you're not immediately trusting and just don't accept their authority and what they're telling you, it wouldn't be good for the church. So I think that's probably the real purpose of the e-meter test. So that's it, guys. Love the show as always. Bye.
Well, thanks, Adam, for the call.
Yeah. That's
that's pretty funny to confront them with like, hey, just what is that doing? You got that little box there. What's that thing doing?
Yeah.
You got.
They don't know.
They don't. They have no idea.
They know some like kooky explanation, but they don't know.
But what all they know is that they're hooking up two leads to two metal rod things, and that you're holding them, and that a needle in front of them is going woo 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 woo.
Right.
And science. They know it's science, and it. You know, what people don't know is that Scientology is a combination of science and tology, and they put those together, and then
they came up with Scientology,
and then that's how they fixed the world.
Ew, gross.
They're going to fix the world, Frank.
No.
Bill wrote into us.
Okay.
He said, "Hi, guys. Thanks, as always, for your great work. I was wondering..." Now, Bill, I will say, I'm going to interrupt myself and say that Bill is representative of more than one person who wrote in to ask the same basic question.
Oh, okay.
So we need to answer it. I was wondering how I make recurring payments via PayPal every month.
Okay.
I heard you talking about the Joyride campaign. Would it be better for you if I switch my payment to Joyride? And he says, thanks again for all the hard work. So here's what we've come to.
Yeah.
We want to make this as easy for you guys as possible. If you're already making your payments every month on PayPal, great.
Yeah,
leave it there.
And you like it, awesome.
That's fine with us.
Yeah.
The current campaign is a Joyride campaign, and so we're driving people to that. But I mean, whatever's easiest on you. If you personally like PayPal better, that's fine. There's still a link to that also on our webpage.
Right.
There's one to Joyride and one to just the standard support thing.
Right.
However, there is an unfair thing that's happening, which is that there are people who have been supporting us for a while now on PayPal who aren't getting the benefits of the Joyride thing, because we've set up Joyride so that you can get benefits depending on what level you're at. If you wish to get any of the benefits that we offer to our Joyride people, and you are a monthly subscriber on PayPal, please just write to us. We'll be happy to provide what we can.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just let us know, and
it's easy enough to include everybody in.
We want you to be a part of it. We should talk about the fact that Joyride, we had our first meetup.
Oh, we did. It was wonderful.
Online
little Google Hangout.
Hangout.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
With some of our listeners, it was really nice.
Yeah.
The guys were great.
Yep.
It was all guys.
It was.
Ladies.
Where were you, ladies?
So we'd like to get some estrogen in the room next time. And we're still working towards we'll talk about that in a minute.
To what?
We're still working towards getting more women
We're talking about it. Let's just talk about it.
We might as well just talk about it. If the ladies can...
Well, here's the deal. Why don't I quickly thank our new Joyride donors?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, because this will lead beautifully into it.
Yes.
So we have Judy, Janny, Heather, Niels, Stevie, Reagan, and Elizabeth. These are all new donors. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for becoming part of this. This is so good.
And
most of them,
6 out of those 7 are ladies.
Ladies. It's a ladies thing.
And so what's happened here is that out of our 34 people who have currently gone to Joyride to be part of this campaign, 14 of them are now women.
That's close.
That's close. So we have this whole thing where we've been saying, hey, ladies, like, come on out and support, and if you do, we'll do one of these Google Hangouts
just for the women,
just with all the women who are a part of the Joyride campaign,
even the women that haven't,
even the ones who are not at the $15 a month
at that level,
which is
the level that gets the monthly hangout.
Right.
We'll do a single hangout for the women if they can catch the men. Now, gentlemen, don't make this easy on them.
Yeah.
This is no excuse for you guys to stop donating. I think you should make it harder.
By my calculation, if we get no more men, we just need 3 or 4 more. Well, now that will bump up the number again. So it's like 5 or 6 that we're gonna have to get for them to overtake
the
men.
However, I don't want that to happen. What I want to have happen is that I want the men to start cock blocking these ladies because that's funny to me. So, gentlemen, get in there. Ladies, see if you can beat them. By next week, we may have an announcement of a Google Hangout just for the ladies.
Right.
But every month, we will have a Google Hangout for those who are contributing at that level, and that's just our way of showing how much we appreciate it. So if you want to chill with us on the intertubes for one time every month, please go there and do that. Otherwise, there are other levels at which you can donate. We did have one more donor on PayPal. So a big thanks to Randall who gave us a one-time donation. That was really, really sweet of you.
Yeah.
And there's one more email. I'm going to read another email.
I'll read another email.
Jump back to another email. Hey guys, this is from Chris. Loved the most recent episode about Mormon missionaries. I just wanted to say that when I was a missionary, I would jump at every chance to do any work that wasn't proselytizing. They may have.
I know that one.
That may have been because I was in Europe, and most of the people that who would talk to us were crazy. Mm-hmm. By the way, I don't mean that as a hyperbole or a pejorative. The most success we ever had was in the town with a mental asylum, and most of the people we taught were patients there.
Oh my God!
Anytime someone needed help moving or mowing a lawn or just doing anything where I could wear jeans and not feel like I had to preach were my favorite days as a missionary. So my advice to anyone who might feel bad taking advantage of the missionaries, don't. You are doing them a favor by giving them a chance to be normal for a couple of hours. If they don't particularly like their companion, you can bet they will be thrilled to do any amount of house or yard work you can throw at them. All right, Chris, thank you so much for writing it. I just had to get that out because that's brilliant. I think it's now official TGIA policy that if Mormons come to your house, if Mormon missionaries come to your house and they end with, "Is there anything we can do for you?" say yes.
Get them a chore.
Figure something out.
They're serious.
They'll do it.
And don't feel bad.
If you need your garage painted, if you need
cleaned out,
if you need your garden weeded, give those boys a chance to do something.
If you need a garden, if you need to plant your garden, take care of it, and harvest, you could probably get the missionaries to do it.
Pour yourself, and I'm not joking here, make a pitcher of sangria.
Oh, yeah.
Pour yourself a glass, put out a lawn chair, and watch them do your work. It's fine. You get to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, my God.
That's what's great.
So just to back up just slightly.
Okay.
The magical number for the ladies.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Is 7.
We need 7?
I wasn't thinking it through. I was looking at the numbers and I'm going, what I'm saying is not making sense.
I'm not looking at your numbers.
I'm looking at my numbers
okay.
and this actually makes sense. It's got to be 7 more donors.
Right.
And then at that point, the ladies have overtaken the men.
Okay.
But that means that there can be no men in that time span. So ladies, it's not just 7. You're going to have to exceed that because the men, seriously, they're really doing great.
And I'm again encouraging these men. You get in there.
Yeah, make it hard on the ladies.
We'll come up with a reward for you later.
If you can hold them off for 2 months.
Oh my God, this is fun. Oh, we have fun. Well, what we wanted to talk about with you, kind listeners, is the fact that this country is going a little nutballs because gays keep getting rights.
Damn it.
And it's ruining everything. It's just literally ruining.
It was so awesome when I had no rights.
Yeah, well,
it was great.
Maybe not for you, but you're like, what, 5 to 10% of the country? Max?
Come on, Dan.
So
just give me some rights.
You already got them.
I know.
That's that's the problem.
I know.
So now we have to figure out what that means. And let me tell you what that means. It means senators and House and representatives all over this country.
Yeah.
Freaking the fuck out.
Right.
and needing to do legislation to protect the rights of the Christians.
Oh yeah.
And what rights?
yeah.
What rights are those, Frank?
Well,
The right to discriminate against gays.
yeah. I mean, to put it succinctly, yes.
Yeah.
There are cases where, these Christians, they are operating, small little business-like ventures, and they
Business-esque.
And so there's both the private and there's actually like the churches themselves, right? So there's your private individual who's a Christian who wants to retain the right to say, no, I don't want to provide services to X member of society because they are gay, right? Or lesbian, and
Or transgender.
or transgender, blah blah blah, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there are the churches that are saying things like, well, we rent out our chapel to the public at large. They don't have to be members of our church. But this is going to mean that we're going to have to rent out to these gay people, and we don't like gay people.
Right.
Okay.
They're evil.
Yeah. Well, if you don't want to, then stop renting it out to the public at large.
Right.
We understand that you're getting money for it, but come on. What are your values worth to you?
So bills are showing up in legislatures, state legislatures across the country. I've got one in Georgia, SB 129. I've got one in Indiana, that is that's Senate Bill 127. Basically, all of these are some variant on allowing faith-based recipients, even recipients of state funds. I'm looking at the one in Indiana right now.
Okay.
To hire employees based on religion.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they want to be able to discriminate based on religion to make sure that they can, that if it's a Catholic hospital, shouldn't it be able to only hire Catholic janitors if they want to? It's that sort of thing. People don't understand. If it's a church saying we want the right not to like gays, that's one thing. But if it's a doctor, as happened in Michigan, where a married lesbian couple, which they can be married now, and they are, they took their baby in to get a checkup at a pediatric clinic in Roseville, Michigan. And when they arrived, they were informed that their doctor had preyed on it and was not going to be able to care for their child.
Why?
Because she has gay mommies.
Oh my God.
So
herein lies the problem.
Yeah, this is a huge problem.
But these legislators would want that doctor to have that right.
Correct. This is happening all over the country. There are legislators wanting to make sure that
bigots
that the rights of
get to be comfortable.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is a sincerely held religious belief of this doctor.
I don't want to treat this child.
She could, for all I know, this baby could be gay.
Yeah. She might be contagious.
What if the other babies in the waiting room catch the gay?
If I treat that baby for her, runny nose, her cold, her fever, whatever.
Right.
I'm condoning homosexuality.
It's like you are saving the life of one of God's most hated creatures.
A baby.
A baby. This was a 6-day-old.
Potentially, possibly, in my addled mind, a gay baby.
A gayby.
A gayby.
If you will.
Well, it is a gayby.
It is a gayby.
It is a,
But the baby of
an actual homosexual child.
Right. Well, it's so. I mean, this is what we're up against. We're up against a whole. Everybody's just crazy. I don't know how this is possible. Now, many of these bills are not going to pass. For instance, in our fair state of Utah, we have 2 competing bills.
Right.
One forwarded by Representative LeVar Christensen,
A complete douchebag.
a noted hater of the gays. He's kind of our if there was somebody that if you came into Utah and said, "Hey, who should I hate here?"
Yeah.
To a liberal person, they're going to point you in Brother Christensen's direction.
You know the story of he left the legislature to run for Congress.
Mm-hmm.
And then after he didn't get a congressional seat, he went back to the woman who had taken his seat in the legislature and said, "God has told me that he wants me to have your seat."
Hey, woman, it's cute that you're trying to
Or I'm
legislate.
supposed to have my seat back.
Right.
You know.
It's cute that you're trying to legislate and all that. And I just totally 100% support you, but the man is back.
Yeah.
So give that up.
He talks with God. God talks to him.
Oh yeah.
He's a religious douchebag.
Yeah. He proposed some legislation. His is I don't know which one it's called. Oh, it's HB 322 here in Utah. That is it's basically let's protect the religious people from the queers. It has been nicknamed the License to Discriminate bill.
Great.
However, the bill that's actually going to get some traction and has gotten some traction, this was just announced today, we're recording on Wednesday, is Senate Bill 296. Now, Senate Bill 296 is something that looks very set to pass.
Okay.
And it has things like it would be illegal to fire someone or deny them housing because they are lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender.
Right. Or if they hate and publicly state that they hate gay people.
That's true. Yeah.
Those people are also guaranteed housing.
That's right.
And employment.
Yeah. Bigots and queers alike.
We've been set up as equals in this law, and I really appreciate that.
Well, under the law, everyone should be equal. So I suppose that's true.
Yeah, but they're elevating bigotry to being...
To protected class?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah.
However, I don't think anyone should be denied housing or I mean, so what it's saying is like you still, it's not saying that you can just say like the faggots at work, but if you're not at work and you say it, you can't be fired then later at work for having said it or something like that. Is what that's on about.
Huh.
So it's this one should be called Free to Be Gay or a Jerk bill.
Yeah.
The Free to Be Me bill.
Right.
Where you could be gay or an asshole.
Right.
So there are some interesting moments in this bill, in the one here in Utah. There's the exemption for religions and the Boy Scouts of America.
What? Why?
So
Why specifically the Boy Scouts?
Well, because they hate the gays as much as the religions do.
Aren't there other groups that hate the gays that could stand the same protection under the law?
What if a group of young boys was forced to go camping with a gay man? What if that happened, Frank?
I think they would probably just go camping.
Yeah.
And they'd have a good time, I guess.
What if they found out that gay men are actually okay?
Yeah.
And are fine people, and that that's not dangerous?
Then,
what if they found that out?
Then they would go about living their lives as they would have otherwise, probably.
They would not take on the bigotry of their parents as their own.
Which is important.
Which is very important.
Ugh.
It's very important. Anyway, so good things are happening, bad things are happening. It's just an interesting moment in history right now.
So, I mean, this thing, I really want it to wither and die. I do not. This whole like bigots getting protection in the law. I can't stand for this. I don't know what's being done to fight it, because this is not a good thing. This is not just some simple, okay, well, we want our rights and we'll let them have whatever they kind of want. And because it doesn't seem that harmless, it seems relatively harmless.
Well, I
think there's potentially real harm here.
Well, the question for me
when
is...
have we provided protection for bigots in the past? Like legally, written it into the law.
Well, I mean,
in this sort of way, like as a trade-off. Okay, we'll give the gay community some rights, or whatever community some rights, but we're going to make sure that the bigots are like fully protected here. If people know about this, I want to know.
I'm not that educated. I'm not educated enough on, for instance, the
ins and outs of the civil rights movement.
Right. Yeah, I do wonder if maybe there was like something thrown in there that was just like, and by the way, if you still hate the Negroes, you're okay too, or something like that. I don't know. I don't
think there was.
It seems unlikely.
Maybe at some state level somewhere that isn't really talked about too much. But I mean, I think when we were, as a country, got good on civil rights, at least on paper, we were good on civil rights.
Yeah.
I mean, it took a while for the society to catch up, but
I don't know. I mean,
it's still catching up.
Here's the thing: we need to decide. There are battles to be picked here. And for me, the battle of like, yes, you can say that you hate gays and still have your housing, is I'm willing to give that up to say, no, you must treat a lesbian couple's child if you're a pediatrician. Like, to me, that's the battle I pick. I pick, if you're a hospital, you have to provide health care. So you have to provide, contraception. And the pill is not something that is just optional. That is a health issue, and you have to do it.
Right, but I mean,
these are the battles that I want to pick.
On the state level, though, I think all of our religious-run hospitals are gone. They're all. I mean, do you know any like church-run hospitals
here in Utah?
Yeah, because LDS was sold off to IHC, and like St. Mark's is. I don't know who they're associated with. But they're no longer actually religiously affiliated anymore. So in my mind, this is a problem in Utah. This is a solution for a problem that doesn't really even exist. Like the stuff that you're saying.
Correct, it is. However, this is what gets it through. This is what gets the bill passed. Right. Because this is, I mean, and what's fascinating about this is that
for some of this, though, it's a solution in search of a problem.
Correct. But what I'm saying is this is, I mean, and the Mormon Church actually set up the architecture for this when they made their announcement that they were okay with the gays getting rights as long as their rights were protected too. I feel like this bill navigates Utah politics exactly how it has to. Because if this was just about protecting the gay rights, there would be...
But we got that through on... There's so many cities and counties now that have those. I mean...
They can do it on a city and county level.
Yeah, but places like... that are unexpected in a lot of ways that are passing these laws.
There you go. I mean...
So what I'm saying is, I don't think that it was unachievable on the state level. I think the church probably saw that it was going to be achieved and tacked their own thing onto it.
Politics.
No, I know. But like...
They played it well. What can you say? I mean, they own the state.
Right, but I say, don't let them have it this year and get the thing that we want that's clean and without problems next year.
I just don't see many problems arising from this.
Seems a little problematic. I don't like the sound of it at all.
It doesn't taste exactly right. That's for sure. Things like religious-owned housing, so Brigham Young University, BYU housing, they get an exemption from it, so they can still discriminate
as long as
against.
It's owned by the church, or
right.
Yeah, that's fine.
They still get to not have queers there.
Right. But they shouldn't be able to dictate to all those, because there's the BYU approved housing thing down in Provo.
Right.
And they should not be able to dictate to all those privately owned apartment buildings who they rent
right.
to.
Well, and they won't be able to. Okay. I mean, this law will make it so that the non, because this is a fascinating phenomenon. For those of you who don't know, if you live in Provo, Utah, which is where BYU is,
right,
there are certain privately owned apartment buildings,
right,
that are still considered, quote, BYU approved housing.
Right.
And what that means is that all of the rules that BYU puts onto their own owned housing apply there.
Right.
So no persons of the opposite gender in your room past 10 o'clock is
right.
one of the rules, I think.
Right.
And definitely no sex is allowed unless you're married.
Right.
And like there's
no alcohol, there's no smoking on those grounds.
Right. None of that.
Typically, what are some of the there's also just basic standards that they have to meet. Certain amount of square footage per person in a bedroom. There's a certain amount of desk space that each person's supposed to be provided. There's a lot of stuff like that. Certain number of bathrooms per occupant. That kind of stuff, right?
And until this bill passes, you can kick somebody out for finding out that they're gay.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But that's nice that once this bill passes, that will not be a possibility anymore.
Okay.
Well, if you guys have some way that you need to chime in with us, please do. It's a contentious issue. It's an issue that we need help with, clearly, because you and I haven't sorted it out really at all.
No, I haven't read the damn thing.
So yeah, write into us, podcast at thankgodimatheist.com.
Or call and leave a voicemail message. The phone number is area code 424-666-8442.
Correct. Or you can go to facebook.com/TGIAtheist and find all the great things that are being posted there by one Miss Mackenzie. She's a doll.
Or on Facebook, search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge.
Right.
You have to request to join the group. It's a closed group. And after you request it, Dan will look into it, and
it'll be your favorite thing in the world. All of a sudden, you'll have a favorite thing in the world, and it'll be that.
All right.
Don't forget that Joyride. It's a hotly contested thing right now. The ladies catching up to the men.
Ladies v men.
Get on there. Go to Facebook or go to thankgodimatheist.com. Don't involve Facebook in this part.
No.
Just go to thankgodimatheist.com and click on the Joyride button. That'll get you to a place where you can support us. And if you're a woman, then you can help the women. And if you're a man, then you can.
It's all very strange grammatically, Dan.
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, also thanks to the Red Rock Hot Club for the use of their music.
And thanks to Mackenzie for doing all of her hard work and diligence on the Facebook page.
And
go ahead.
Thank you, dear listener.
Yeah.
For listening.
That's what I was going to say, too. Goodbye, everybody.